Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of Visionary Talks by Governance Now. This is Kailashnath Adhikari, Managing Director, Governance Now, Ashri Adhikari Brothers Enterprise, and it is my extreme proud privilege today that today I'm being joined by none other than Shri Sanjay Pandey, Commissioner of Police, Mumbai Police. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
Sir, my first question to you. Mumbai is one of the most busiest metropolitan, not only in India, but of the world, sir. How does the police force, the Mumbai police force, manage the sheer movement of people on a daily basis?
Well, the traffic department of Mumbai Police has been working in the city for a very long time. We understand the movement, though the number of roads are very limited in Bombay, but over a period of time, our people have, I could say, mastered the art of managing the traffic, even though we have very little options.
Absolutely. Now, if we talk about the COVID-19 pandemic, sir, what was the experience like when the entire force had to be kept motivated and on their toes during such a pandemic? Police was our frontline force, and they are our frontline force. And we also know that the force lost some of its brave hearts. How does the force deal with it?
So the pandemic situation was not affecting just the police, but it was affecting the entire country. Yes, we lost quite a few of us, but the fact is that we are tasked and we are trained for civil defense, and I think Bombay Police rose to the occasion, and we set up various camps, and also a lot of great Samaritans who helped Mumbai Police with various kind of facilities, like they set up the tents where police could stay or work. They gave sanitizers, they gave out a lot of masks. So I think it was a cumulative effort. I can't say that the police were alone in this fight. The society joined in, and we all worked hand in hand. That's how it went on.
A collective spirit, as we call it, the Mumbaikar spirit.
Right.
Now, Sanjay ji, the pandemic also changed the nature of criminal activity. What kind of challenges have you come across, and how did you manage to respond to that?
Well, the pandemic actually changed the pattern in which not only the criminals operate, but also changed the pattern in which the civilians operate. The more and more focus of the civilians went on e-commerce. Most people started interacting and doing work digitally. So the offenses also changed their culture and their view from being physical in nature to digital in nature. I'm not saying they were not digital before, but I think with more and more people joining in this digital bandwagon, so to say, the criminals also joined in. That has been one major shift. The other shift which has happened is that a lot of people lost their jobs. And when they lost their jobs, some petty crimes, which were basically would not have been done by some organized criminals. We are noticing it now because most people, quite a few of them, have been unemployed. And so a lot of street crimes we have seen also. So you see, at one side, there is a digital crime which increased. We have also seen street crimes increase, and we are dealing with it. Yes.
Now, a further significant challenge for the police force is to retain the public trust through and beyond the crisis. Now, this requires policing to be sensitive to the local context, with greater situational awareness by the police officers on the ground itself, and more effective communication campaigns and dialogue with the public regionally as well as nationally. How did the city police manage it so well?
Well, in my tenure, I can talk about, and whatever I have learned over a period of time while being a commissioner, I think engagement with the citizens, the Mumbaikars, has been the hallmark of Mumbai policing. I know way down in 1992, when the riots were on the streets of Bombay, we had a very good police-citizen interaction through Mohalla committees. Over a period of time, the ALMs came into being. The ALMs are the advanced local management groups which manage the societies and also look at the municipal facilities. So what we've done recently is that we have combined these two. We have combined the ALMs and the Mohalla committees, and we have made a citizen forum. And here there are people who are from every ward of Bombay City, and they represent all walks of life. And we today have a forum head as well. And they work independently, but also work in coordination with the police. So this is something which we have done over the last about 4 months. And yeah, so that's where we are. Our story has been old, but it has been molded in a newer way by putting it a name of Citizen Forum, not making it a Mohalla committee. So making it more akin to international nature of the Mumbai city. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, with such a huge population, sir, India is an attractive investment destination also for the global market. However, the recent violence in some parts of the country and some reports highlight that India's internal security might be in shambles in some parts of the country. In such a scenario, according to you, how much importance will internal security play in achieving the goal of a $5 trillion economy, and how we can ensure better internal security?
But for security, nobody can feel safe. Forget about the investment. Any kind of enterprise cannot really survive. So whatever you're seeing elsewhere, if you've seen the statistics of Bombay over a period of, I can only vouch for the time I've been around. I think while there have been sporadic incidents elsewhere, by and large, Mumbai has been peaceful. We haven't seen any such kind of incidents which get reported every day in various parts of the country. We are fortunate, I must say, and I give credit not just to the police, but the Mumbaikars who have always worked and lived up to the reputation of Mumbai city. That's something that's happening on the ground. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, sir, technology evolves very fast, and globally there's a scarcity to manage the cybersecurity, skill sets. How do you manage the skill sets of your team?
Well, the teams have gone through various kind of training programs that have been organized both by the national level institutes like Bureau of Police Research and Development and various other institutes which are there in the center. We also locally organize trainings, but we also do trainers program, like people, some of those who are trained, like my cyber cells in crime branch has more trained people. So they go around training other constables and the officers in whatever they have known. So that has helped us. And I think this training has percolated down at least up to the sub-inspector level in Bombay City.
Absolutely. Now, with the coming of new technologies, across domains, and there is wider application and acceptance within the society also, the incidence of cybercrime have also increased. How can we create a secure IT policing infrastructure, and what are the challenges you feel, the force feels in adopting to it?
When you talk about cybercrime, the other day when I was talking to a newspaper in Bombay, I said cybercrime is not like a regular physical crime. The territorial boundaries of cybercrime far transcend the boundaries of a country. And so when they transcend the boundaries of the country, they also transcend the various laws that exist in India to other countries where the laws may be different. And then also our coordinating relationships may be different. So cybercrime is a huge challenge unless until this puzzle is sorted out, that if a crime has been done in this country, which originated from a second country or maybe a third country, because they do use proxies to launch an attack or launch some kind of or run some kind of crime. It is required that we have international thinking on this, and we should come on a common platform. At some point of time, United Nations wanted a common model law which everybody should adopt, and I think that is something that all countries have to look into. Only then we can probably say that we are really up to date and we can handle cybercrime. Otherwise, it's getting more and more difficult.
Now, so financial crimes have also seen an increase since the onset of the pandemic. How is the Mumbai police prepared with respect to dealing with such crimes?
Well, Mumbai police has an economic offences wing which has been there for quite some time. The pandemic has thrown a particular kind of challenge for economic offences where the real estate, actually where people have invested money and they wanted their houses to be made in a particular time frame, haven't been made and could not have been made. So there is a lot of anxiety and a lot of complaints about delays in the real estate sector. We have a property cell in the crime branch. We also have a property cell in our economic offences wing. And I think we are adequately equipped to handle this, though the complaints have increased due to the pandemic.
Now, how do you consider the impact of technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, or big data on policing strategy? You know, as India also needs a long-term focused approach on adopting technology in ensuring a good internal security.
As far as artificial intelligence is concerned, we have been evaluating various kind of products which are basically onto facial recognition and mapping this to the criminal data. The various projects that have been shown to us, products which have been shown to us, we have evaluated them, but are we implementing them as of now? As of now, we have not implemented them yet. It's in evaluation stage. If you talk about blockchain, we haven't really so far looked into blockchain, though I believe it holds a very good promise in terms of at least, let's talk about passport verification, let's talk about character verification. Blockchain can be a major boon to us. But so far, I can only say that the blockchains haven't really touched our shores yet. So we are still not using it. Yes. Sure. So it will be very beneficial. Yes.
Sure. So social media, as we know, has emerged as a very powerful tool to express or, even report something. How do you feel we can harness it in a much better way and integrate its use to improve the operations?
Monitoring of social media has become a traditional thing which the police all over the country is doing. I'm not a votary of great regulation on the social media, but I believe that some basic minimum code of conduct needs to be adopted by the social media platforms, where there are stories about Facebook having been called to depose and say that they are going to put up certain kind of algorithms to weed out any hate speeches, take away any kind of propaganda. I believe this code of conduct has to be made. I will try to elaborate this. When I say the code of conduct, it's not just paper. I am saying this code of conduct has to be inbuilt in the platforms that exist, be it Facebook, be it Instagram, be it Twitter or whatever. Wherever a particular phrase or a particular kind of photograph happens, now you cannot have a code of conduct which is internationally applicable, because something which is hate in India may not be a hate in another country. So country-specific code of conduct, country-specific algorithms need to exist, because this social media is actually, I'm talking about recent situation. In the recent situation, this has become such a major menace for very, very small incidents. We are being made to come on the road to handle the outburst of people who are reacting. So I think at a basic minimum level, we need to address and have a code of conduct which is mutually agreed between the platforms and the government agencies, where the enforcement agencies should play a very major role. Otherwise, we are dealing day at a time. If suppose some flare-up happens, we write to them, please take this off. That is not the way that we can function. There has to be a systemic response, and that response can be only where we come to a mutual understanding about a basic minimum conduct that every platform needs to follow and needs to comply with. That's my thought on this. Yeah.
Absolutely. Sir, in the recent years, a lot of policing initiatives have been taken up across the country. According to you, how can these help in the exchange of learning and experiences across the state police forces and other law enforcement agencies? And will it help in the adoption of best practices to further improve the policing in the country?
Well, I have a very basic answer to this. The answer is this: we do collaborate with other police forces. Our people go, like I know we are coordinating with Karnataka. We also go to Madhya Pradesh. All that is there. But in order to strengthen the police across the country, we need to look at how the police act itself. I mean, police act has been made by various in the states also in a different manner. I think in order to have a uniform structure I'm here talking about administration of policing. The administration, the crime part is already settled. The crime part is already CRPC and IPC. I'm talking about the police administration to be the same all across. There have to be a model police acts which need to be enacted and which should be the same all across. So you would not find very minimal things like on which, what kind of badges do you wear, what kind of shoulder signs you have. Most of the Indian police services have, what kind of flags you could have. Now, those are very basic things which need to be addressed on a national scale by an act which is probably adopted all across in the same manner. There's a long way to go.
True.
And police administration. Yeah.
True. Now, towards my last question, sir. Modernization of police forces, the modernization of prisons and courts is a continuous process which the government has been supporting from time to time to address various needs for improvement. Do you think a PPP model, something like a public-private partnership, can be a bridge to achieve this goal?
Well, as far as technology is concerned, we are not into research and development, so certainly we want to take the best technology which is available in terms of policing. So that kind of partnership, if you're referring, is fine. But we have seen various kind of other partnerships, like where you start, you sell a product for starting traffic challans, and where the software is given free, but every challan, the private party makes X amount of money. I am not a votary of this. I am a votary of, if you have the right technology, we should purchase it. But to do policing work, actually, if you go in technicality of this, then somebody collecting money for each challans on a software for every challan may not be the great partnership that we are looking forward to. What we are looking forward to is great ideas, great products, great technology, which will help us in doing our day-to-day crime work and helping us to solve the problems of the citizens. So we welcome such things with open hands. Yeah.
Absolutely. With that, thank you so much, Sanjay ji, for your time and talking to us on Visionary Talks by Governance Now. It was a complete pleasure hosting you today, sir. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.